Greetings, I'm Solidus-Skully, and welcome back to some more Tormented Souls action. What were you doing going back over there for literally no reason, whatever, washing? But anyway, since we got that key from Anna's cell, now it is time for us to finally see what the rest of this Wildburger Mansion Hospital has to offer, but first, violence! Since Hopalong seems to be in here to get some soup, get rid of this thing, would you? Got a random object that could be used for literally fucking anything, or substituted for anything, if the lighter scalpel debacle is anything to go by. Anyway, you remember these doors? Ones with all the mysterious symbols and strange things posted on them? Well, yeah, this key that Anna had, I can't remember if she stole it or if she just had this all along. I mean, this place was technically her house, and back when she and Emma were living there, the staff pretty much did treat them like, well, little princesses, so, I mean, if nothing else, it does show that the Wildburger family was pretty well-to-do when they, well, I mean, I can imagine as a little kid this probably would have given you, like, all the fun in the world to have your creative imagination have little hiding spots or little adventure games that I'm sure Anna and Emma played together as kids, but, yeah, that sadly got the shaft because, well, occultic things were happening and anything they discovered was, well, crap. Anyway, if you couldn't already tell how to solve these puzzles, I'll explain it a bit later when I run low on commentary. But I won't, for the time being. Because of course we have more time travel shenanigans, and depending on between now and then if I find anything else to name the part, I'm gonna be calling this future-proofing. Because, yeah, I think I might have alluded to it beforehand, but there is a certain point of no return threshold where, again, if you cross it, you're gonna be dealing with the Resident Evil Nemesis / Silent Hill 4 type of scenario where you're gonna be hunted down the mansion. Oh, she'll be hunted down the mansion when she comes. She'll be hunted down the mansion when she comes. Why am I in a musical mood so often? But, yeah, that's not something you want to be dealing with right now, and, yeah, you know what, we'll get to that a bit later. But in the meantime, yeah, gathering up as many items as possible, some of which are mainly done for area progression, but yeah. It's all to do with the catacombs that are right beneath the stairs next to the basement, and will pretty much lead us into the mausoleum, which will lead us towards some of the final areas of the game. But we got a fair bit to do between now and then, so let's just enjoy the safety of the mansion and all the kindly enemies that we have between now and then. But yeah, in any case, to talk about the Halloween festivities, yeah, this in tandem with Resident Evil, since we pretty much have at this point far across the threshold of, well, no, we're still in October at this point, at least I think at the time I should be uploading this. I don't know how many parts Tormented Souls will turn out to be, but it'll probably be a bit more than Resident Evil 1. I don't know, depending on how I cut them up, because, yeah, these lengthy recording sessions are hell on my throat. Oh. But anyway, to kind of finally talk about the key puzzle in actual depth, yeah, they're pretty much, again, you have the pictures relating to them, but you also have the key symbols on the door, so they're pretty much there to correspond with how you turn the dials. Again, like, I mean, you see the Egyptian symbol, pyramids, you see the bee, honeycomb, and you see the alien, well, circle, because alien abduction / flying saucer, and that's pretty much how you're meant to solve it. I mean, they can be a little bit obscure, and again, they do change up the puzzles enough so that you do kind of have to think up about, like, you know, how many sides does a certain shape have? Does that correspond with the key glyph you're meant to use, or, you know, or, oh no, this angle 5 + 1, is that meant to correspond with the amount of sides that each shape has? So yeah, it takes a bit of think tank stuff, not super in-depth, but enough to keep you thinking and focused on the game, and this, I'm pretty sure we got this diary entry earlier, although I honestly can't remember if it's something new or just another place you can get it, because this is pretty much the same one where, again, William Wildburger found Bertram kneeling towards the grave of his wife, then he went, so I suppose he also had his wife lost towards, this quote-unquote disease, which is why Bertram decided to do all of this stuff, which would, I don't know, the game never really delves into this that much, but I mean, if that's meant to be the case, then holy shit, we've got some massive Sins of the Father things going on. But yeah, I figured I might as well show this diary entry off anyway, just on the off chance that it does have some new information, but I don't know, I swear to God that I've read it before. Well, anyway, the importance of this room, apart from giving us a little bit more ammunition for a certain gun we'll be getting a bit later, is of course, well, the battery. The core battery that we'll be getting for the elevator Motron. And you might be thinking that you'd be able to juice it up right then and there, but shucky darns, the battery has no power, so we're pretty much gonna have to go off and get it juiced up. But of course, powering up car batteries isn't instantaneous, so we're gonna need to be doing some time travel shenanigans. Which is why I went to the dining room so we could get the videotape so that we could pretty much travel a few days into the past. Because, I mean, I'm pretty sure if we did this back in the 80s, then, well, Anna Wildberger would have taken it, put it into a car, and escaped to safety. Although, they'll probably be questioning why a 7-year-old girl is driving a car anyway. Actually, how old is Anna at this point? She was born in, like, 1975, I think? 1980? No, hang on. Trying to get my dates correct. I think it was, like, 1970... Whatever. Single digits, still, I think. The point is, charge up battery to do battery things. Battery! Metallica song, I forgot how it goes. As you can tell, I'm kind of stretching for commentary at this point in time, but again, with the added exploration into all these rooms, you're pretty much getting puzzle pieces required to access the mausoleum. And it is something that I recommend you do now of all times, because again, not only is this before the point of no return, but it's also at a time when, again, unless of course you didn't have the ammo resources beforehand, you should have pretty much everything you need to take care of them now. And, yeah, otherwise you should have pretty much free running of the place, so you can collect items comfortably, stock up for the oncoming storm, and by the time you finish up here, well, you should be good to go for when shit hits the fan. And to tell you what the point of no return is, that would be the penthouse, which is, in Maria's bedroom. So, yeah, make sure you get everything done before that, because if you access it beforehand, you're gonna be dealing with threats. And I don't make threats, but I do keep promises. Anyway, more ammunition, more shoot guns. And now what the fuck are we doing? Oh yeah, that's right, there's also home to another puzzle. That was honestly one of the trickier ones. I think this was one of the few puzzles that I actually had to search up a solution to online. Well, that and one other one a little bit later on, but yeah. That's meant to correspond to a certain code word. And basically just pay close attention to when we see a cash register, because, well, I really can't be asked on remembering the number for future playthroughs, so I pretty much just had it written down in my handy-dandy journal. That's not in the game, by the way, I mean in real life, because I do that for certain survival horror games because I am a dork. But yeah, they pretty much tell you the solution to solving the puzzle. It correlates to numbers. Why exactly, I have no idea, but it's pretty much done to get a coin. Why would you need a coin in a cash register? Well, for one reason. Because we're thirsty. Actually, I mean, to be perfectly honest, I'm actually feeling a bit thirsty myself. But don't worry, we can go off and get ourselves some maximum soda for maximum comfort. So let's see what happens when you get it wrong. It's not 000, so we can't contact the police and get them to open the cash register. It ain't 1979 either. So I guess it's gonna be 0414. And now we got ourselves some morphine. I guess maybe the receptionist was getting a bit high on the side. Because I mean, to be a little bit serious for the moment, like opiates are dangerously fucking addictive. Like, I mean, for anybody who's ever had painkillers, like, I mean, there's a reason why, you know, you need a prescription to get those, and while I wouldn't put it past people to fake getting them, yeah, just don't abuse opiates, kids, because, yeah, that leads you down an all too dangerous path. Except for soda, though. That's all well and good. So, it's off to our next lateral thinking puzzle, which, again, unfortunately, it's pretty much a memory game, so again, press one button, then press the other two flashing buttons, and again, by the time it got towards the end, fuck up a sequence once and you pretty much have to go through the whole sequence over again, and by the time it got to, like, the 5th phase, I'm kind of ashamed to admit that I pretty much had to, like, say out loud and count, you know, like I'm a fucking preschool nitwit who just doesn't know shit. I don't know. I think it's more to do with the fact that, you know, the way in which it flashes, I mean, it's easy to figure out, it's just that the way that it flashes kind of blends in with, like, the soft glow on the rest of the vending machine. I don't know. Blood? That is not Chris's blood, and I wanted a maximum soda. I mean, if there's ever a Tormented Souls 2, I want a maximum soda. It's like a health pickup. I mean, like, you know, like, we could have Caroline, she could be like, oh no, the only way I'm gonna be able to defeat these Tormented Souls is with maximum soda, to boost up my energy level. I'd even be willing to accept it as like a pish energy drink mechanic, like in Silent Hill Origins. Except not really, because that was kinda kappa shit. And didn't really serve anything. And yeah, this is pretty much me showing that the battery requires some time to charge. I mean, there is actually a way to examine it, actually I'm pretty sure I showed off right there, actually. Oh no, I don't. Ah, forget it. But again, you pretty much just examine the top of the battery to see that, yeah, it's out of juice. Even though I'm pretty sure you'd only really need it for one segment, so wouldn't it just take like, I don't know, an hour to charge up? And then you could use what little power there is to go for it? I don't know. I don't know mechanical machine things. I mean, I'm pretty sure the charging principles will be different for like a forklift, you know, for like a forklift elevator battery than, you know, your regular car battery that does charge as it goes along. Whatever, I didn't study mechanical engineering, instead I wasted my life on survival horror video games, so unless I end up in a horror situation, well, I'm pretty much shit out of luck. For my life. But anyway, with the battery taking a long time to charge, it seems we need to take advantage of time travel. Which actually does kind of lead into a certain joke if you get the normal ending of the game, because, without spoiling anything, the normal ending of the game is called Forgetfulness. And not for the reasons that you might be thinking. Anyway, let's play the video. Actually, I'm kind of curious, actually, like, if you just had, like, a regular videotape, would that play, like, a movie that Caroline could enter instead?
Father, what happened to the statue of Christ? Did you fix it yourself?
Oh, hello, child. Welcome to this humble house of our Lord. I'm the town priest. It's a pleasure to meet you. What is your name? What is it? Did I say something wrong?
No, not at all. I am Caroline Walker.
A beautiful name. Were you saying something about our Lord's statue?
The last time I was here, it was scattered around the floor, in pieces.
God forbid it, my child. This statue has been here for over 100 years. We take great care of it. It has never been damaged. And let's hope it remains in here like that for many more years.
Something very strange is happening here, Father. I don't know exactly what, but something is definitely not right. I've been here before, and yet I feel like I don't belong here.
That's a familiar feeling when you arrive at a new place. Give it some time. Everything will fall into place.
And this is why earlier on in the playthrough that this is where Father Christian Man first met, Caroline. Even though she didn't remember it at the time, so it seems she time-traveled to meet him right in front of the statue of the baby Jesus. Although, speaking of that actually, we don't ever get to see how the baby Jesus got knocked over to begin with. I'm guessing somebody was a bit frustrated or, there was a certain tortured soul that took vengeance out on it. But yeah, there is a reason why you want to go back down here, that's because 2 areas are available to you. The first of which involves, well, this, and another of which is a puzzle we'll be getting to a bit later, but yeah, put the battery here, and we'll just let it charge up until we can come back a few days later. That does still bug me, by the way, like, I mean, yeah, you know, like, I mean, if Caroline put in, like, a videotape of, like, a fictional film, or whatever, could she enter that film's narrative and change things? Or more to the point, like, I mean, assuming that there weren't barriers around the, doors or whatever, or, she did find a way to move past or, like, break a window or something or go out into the world, could she then stay in that time period? I mean, again, she does mention that she doesn't feel right being in this time, which again does make sense, time paradox and everything, since, again, Caroline's not that old to begin with, so she would have been alive at this point, so... Yeah, Blinovitch limitation effect, maybe? Who knows? Well, I mean, I suppose the salient point being is that there's probably some temporal shenanigans and, I don't know, it's an element of the game's plot that I feel like could have used a little bit more fleshing out, if only for the sake of, well... I don't know, I guess creating a little bit more of an interesting thing where you're not supposed to be messing with history or spiritual powers in the way that Caroline is. The game does very briefly touch upon this at the very end, but it's not enough for my liking. But again, we do still have a bit more to do, so I suppose I'll stay my tongue on that for the time being. But all the same, it was nice to see the baby Jesus, standing tall, standing proud, and forever forgiving us of our sins. Even though now, the baby Jesus is long gone and is lying on the baby floor. So that's why we need to rescue the baby Anna from the baby evil people and monsters. Yeah, can you tell this part is a lot of commuting with barely fuck all to say besides tertiary analysis? Because I sure didn't. I'm pretty sure this is where I examine the battery and you can see the charge status. Warm. Yeah, you see, the light on the top of it is flashing. It's fully charged and ready for action. Unlike me when I wake up in the morning, I'm never fully charged. I just want to go back to sleep. But anyway, now we can finally get things moving and gain some more puzzle pieces which are needed to unlock the mausoleum, which, if you'll remember, had 3 components. One of which was like a cipher disk, the second one was like a little keycard thing, and the third of which was, well, a symbol of the Wildberger family. Excuse me. But again, 2 of those items we won't be getting until later, so... Well, might as well just scratch one monkey off our back and make sure we at least get compensated for our actions. And this probably will be the final part I'll be recording for this session. Well, by session I mean in terms of like the batch of videos I'm recording for today. Because my throat is quite hoarse, unlike the equine creature of its name, and well, I mean I gotta get some more parts transcribed into the editor. So, whoopee. My throat gets a break, and more Halloween festivities are on the way. Meanwhile, in the dining room hallway... Nice attention to detail, though, that a lot of the bodies of the creatures you slay are pretty much still in the hallways. I mean, that's something you wouldn't have seen back... Well, actually, no, you would see it in the PS2 day, because games like Metal Gear Solid 2 and stuff usually had that be a thing, as well as Resident Evil Remake. Anyways, upsy daisies. And now to take out the pufferfish enemy that has been stalking us the entire time. But of course we gotta bait it out, or yeah, we can pretty much pick it off from there. One hit combo. Again, I'm really not too sure what designates it being like a one-hit kill or versus like, I don't know, like it takes multiple hits. I guess maybe it depends on what direction they're facing, or if you catch them unawares. I don't know. I guess it might be a stake kind of thing. It might be worth experimenting a little bit more, so that I can become a Tormented Souls master and know literally everything about the enemies and be like, oh yeah, that's right, I'm a Tormented Souls master. Obsessive fan about the game that, in terms of reception, I'm actually not too sure how well this game did. In terms of fan reception, at the very least. I mean, I really do like the game's atmosphere, but I mean, then again, this is just, you know, Granddad Solidus-Skully who likes his survival horror games. Classic and of the 90s variety, so I really don't know how exactly this game fared in terms of audiences of, like, today. I mean, is it just staunchy old granddads like me, or was it, you know, the average audience members who actually were able to gel with the game's tank controls? You know, which I mean would make me smile, because I mean it would not only show that Tormented Souls is fulfilling a niche that a lot of people have been wanting for some time now, but it also means that this sort of control scheme is accessible that even players of today could easily get to grips with it and have a lot of fun, which, again, I think it'd be fantastic. And, of course, we get the Cipher Disc, which is... well, like, I mean, it's a puzzle that I feel is only really hindered by the fact that it has this, you know, Resident Evil rotate around to try and get it the right way. In fact, I literally took a picture of, like, the completed puzzle so that I'd always have a frame of reference whenever I'm doing this puzzle again to make sure that I get it exactly right, and I don't have to kerfuffle with it. Because, again, it's not difficult to solve the Cipher puzzle, you know, by the time you know what it is. It's just trying to get it to that position and get it to match the little ringlets in the, you know, the actual mausoleum... what would you call it? The mausoleum plinth? The mausoleum table? Whatever thing? Yeah, just trying to get it to match as a flippity bitch. Yeah, that's right. It's exactly how I describe things, with bizarre noises coming out of my mouth flaps. Anyway, we're gonna deposit that, or are we just gonna keep on going? I think we might be going off to the next area. Stupid scary nights. The shing sound scares me. But yeah, we're pretty much gonna unlock the final door, which will pretty much be our next major area of the game, and that's pretty much where I'm gonna be calling it quits for this recording session, so I can get some more parts up into the air, and then all should be good in the hood by the time we finish with Kingdom Hearts 3 and Dwa. Why am I even fucking making these noises? They mean nothing. Anyway, I think this might also be the last time we need to use the dial key, actually, so... yeah, for those of you worried it would be a continuous thing, well, this is the last spot you gotta use it. Hello, Clawfinger, creating an excellently badass image. 1 + 1 = window. So yeah, time to solve the puzzle, which I'm pretty sure we'll get wrong. But yeah, I'd say if you want to solve these puzzles, pay close attention to the symbols etched on the door rather than the piece of paper, because, I don't know, similar to the whole, like, Adam and Eve, man and woman thing with the Earth, I don't think it really gives as much of a clue as perhaps the developers intended. But anyway, that's pretty much us, so we're gonna have a save of the game, and next time on Tormented Souls, we'll be exploring the intensive care wing. And given the nature of some of the patients, that's exactly what we want to explore. Especially with monsters all running around, maybe we'll find that intensive care patient that couldn't be moved from the hospital. Maybe she's insane and brandishing a knife and wanting to stab us. Oh yes, lovely juvelies. But anyway, on that note, I am Solidus-Skully, keep it new metal, and I will see you dudes and dudettes next time. Catch you later, and I'll see you then.